Welcome back, everybody. This is the Vintage Sewing Machine Garage YouTube channel, and you are looking at my domestic model. I will find the model number for you. I am just so taken with this machine because it's so rare that I see something new and interesting and different. And so I mentioned to you in an earlier video, I was talking to you about this amazing, I've never seen a light fixture done in such a way. It's not only unique, it looks like it was pretty expensive to produce compared to the average one, the average light switch. And the reason I'm making this video, of course, is because the existing bulb does not work anymore. It is probably the original. I don't blame the bulb. It's 65, 70 years old. And it's incandescent. It's 15 watts. So this is a great video to talk about bulbs in general. And very often when I have sewing machine bulbs that I need to replace, they're different kinds. Some of them will take, for example, they'll take a small low wattage light bulb. And those bulbs could be, for example, there's a classic incandescent bulb that you will use either for, say, a night light or an older refrigerator, not a refrigerator bulb, but the ones that go in the little water and ice dispensers. Those bulbs I've seen before. And then, of course, I've seen in the older singers, a lot of them used bayonet style. Now, I've got all of these bulbs out here. These are all the bulbs that I currently have in my inventory. And honestly, I don't replace bulbs that often. But when I do, sometimes I need a large bulb like this. This is a bayonet style. This is the largest one. And this one, the one next to it, is slightly, it may look similar, but it's slightly shorter and not quite as big around. It's also a little flatter on the top end of the bulb than this one. But they're bayonets and they don't work. I just thought I would bring them out. This one is also a bayonet, and it is the shape of, when you see this bulb with a threaded base, that's often what I sometimes call the nightlight bulb. These are not LEDs, these are old school nightlights. And then I have this one. Now this is a bayonet. Most of the Singer bulbs I replace are bayonet style, and so that's why I have so many bayonets. Why do you have all these bayonets? Usually with a threaded light bulb type, those light bulbs are typically, they don't vary that much in size. This is an LED, by the way, but that doesn't help us because it is bayonet style. And if I compare it with the old, it may be too long anyway, even if this was the right thread base. So the closest thing I have is this one. And I purchased this. This is a bulb that I bought it because I think I bought them in a set or a pack because I had a machine that did not want the threaded version of the nightlight bulb. No, it needed this one. So I had this, but I don't know that it will work. First of all, we have to test the threads. Now the threads look to be the same, so I will try it carefully in my really cool and funky light socket and see how it works in terms of going in. Okay, it went in fine. And now, what do we notice here? It is about 1/4 of an inch longer than the original bulb, right? So when I know I'm eyeballing this, but I'm going to say it's at least 1/4 of an inch longer. It is also bigger around. Significantly. I don't know how to measure this, and it doesn't matter. I can tell that it's larger. This is not something, just because it fits here, you really do not want to, this should be called the light bulb video, sewing light bulb video. You don't want to use this just because it fits in the threaded socket. The same is true with the bayonets, because some singers take a short bayonet and then some of them take a long one. And if you use the wrong size, whether it's incandescent, which you can still get, reproduction bayonet incandescents, or their LED equivalent bayonet, if it's too long, it doesn't fit in the housing right, it's not going to be good for you. You're going to break the bulb. And let's say it fits, but just barely. If that fits just barely, does that mean that the whatever is surrounding the bulb has enough room around it? Because remember, this is incandescent and it gets really hot. And so you need enough space between the bulb and whatever it surrounds it that you don't burn it to a crisp. Now, if you look at this, remember I said this is wider. I think you can probably look at this if you're following along with me, and I think you know what's going to happen. I think I do. So I'm going to be, watch that. Of course, it won't go in. Now, you might think, well, hey, glad I didn't drop that. You might think to yourself, well, okay, why not take those 4 screws out? There's like some sort of chromed metal cage there, and maybe you could put it in that way. Well, maybe, but it wasn't designed that way. In fact, I suspect this bulb is shaped the way it is because White said we want our customers to be able to pull that out, undo the bulb, push it right back in, and of course this one goes through the hole, right? So what's the other issue? Well, let's say I take the base down, the cage, I call it the cage, the little, there's like just a little metal metal holder there. It's open, right? It looks like a little metal cage. And I could put this in, and then I could screw the light bulb in, and you think, well, just put the cage back. Well, not so fast, because I'm going to move these bulbs, or we will hear the crashing of glass on the floor. So why am I being so careful? Well, remember, I showed you the width of the bulb, but I also told you it's about 1/4 inch longer. And so if I want this bulb to fit, let's get this big heavy bowling ball moved. Okay, it's kind of an odd angle for you guys, so see if I can demonstrate this without having everything come crashing down. Okay, so notice that there's a space here. I haven't measured it. So when I put this in, right, now, actually there may be an even better way to show you. There, let's, I'm going to move the camera for you because I really would like you to see this. And there are certain things with sewing machines that are very awkward to show. They're even awkward to get to when I'm working on them, much less showing you while I'm doing it. So let's see. Okay. If you look closely, in that space right there, right? So it's only as wide as the arm of the machine body. So if I put this light fixture, and let's say I put it in, and then I take this little metal piece off, I get the bulb in there. When I do that, this bulb, it's going to be hitting right up against the side there, and that is going to create problems. The bulb will probably overheat. Let me see if I can turn this for you once more. It is a very weird looking angle to try to show you. Now, how's that? There we go. So again, once these metal prongs go in, right, and this thing settles, look where the bulb is. The bulb is going to be, if not barely touching the other side, it's going to be very close, and it's an incandescent bulb. So what does that mean? That means that either the bulb will break because it'll overheat, or it will damage the machine, or it will cook the paint, and instead of that gorgeous turquoise paint, we'll have something strange. So what do you think the solution is, everyone? I think, well, we know we have a threaded base, and we're not going to change that. I think I am going to be in search of a threaded light bulb, and I can replace it with an incandescent, or, because very oftentimes the LEDs are not quite as wide. this is the one I'm holding in my right hand here is too wide, right? To go through that opening, and it's definitely too long. Now this particular LED is definitely, it's longer than this one, right? So you know it's too long. But let's just look at the circumference of the bulb thing and see if it goes through. Oh, look at that. So it goes through. Now we know it won't fit, right? It's not going to fit because it's going to, again, it's going to hit the other side of the machine. And even though LEDs don't get super hot, I don't want it, bulbs are not meant to touch anything but the base. I mean, that's just common sense. So I think I should go looking for a bulb, and you know, I don't mind using an LED. It'll keep things cooler and it might last longer. It depends on the quality of the LED. But I know I need this thread. So I will show you. If you look at the circumference or the width of the bulb, the LED is slightly bigger than the original, but it still went through the opening, so that's a good sign. I think I'd be okay with that, but obviously not the length. So I've got to go searching for an LED with a threaded base that is, well, basically this size. They do make, by the way, LED replacement bulbs come in all sorts of shapes and sizes and widths. So if I can find a little stubby one, I might be in business. Let me know what any of you think and any solutions you have found to replacing bulbs. And you know what? If you ever come across something that you've never seen and you maybe be perplexed by it, don't feel bad. With hundreds of machines and 10 years of this restoration work, I've never seen this before. And that's kind of cool, right? We never want to run out of things to learn, I suppose. I sure appreciate all of you watching. It says a lot that people would watch a video on the varying sizes of sewing machine light bulbs for vintage machines. So there must be a video channel and an audience for everything. Thank you all for showing so much interest, at least as much as I do, in this lovely blast from the past and very special machine. The domestic, also known as the white, sewing machine, Japanese, Singer, clone, there are all these different names. And I will see if I find a model number for all of you. In the meantime, hang in there as I go through this process, and hopefully we will see you in the next video.